Hi, this video will be solving question 7G in the 2023 Paper 1 for Leaving Certificate Higher Level Mathematics. So the question reads, Rohan drives from A to B. He passes the point A driving at a constant speed of 120 kilometers per hour. After 2 minutes driving at this speed, he starts to decelerate, reduce his speed at a constant rate until he reaches the point B. Overall, his average speed driving from A to B is 100 kilometers per hour. Work out Rohan's deceleration. Give your answer in kilometers per hour per minute. So we're going to remember here that it tells us that the distance from A to B along the motorway is 10 kilometers. And so from the point A, he's driving at constant speed of 120. After 2 minutes, he starts to decelerate at a constant rate until he reaches the point B. And then overall, his average speed is 100 kilometers per hour, and we want to find Rohan's deceleration. Cool. So we're going to visualize this first. So he's starting at point A, and he's driving at 120 kilometers per hour. So he moves along for 2 minutes. And then at another point, he begins to decelerate. And then he gets to point B. So here he decelerates. He finally gets to point B. And note the whole distance is 10 kilometers. So first what we're going to do is find out the distance that he covered from A to this kind of middle part, which we'll call M. So we can do 120 times 2 minutes, which is 2 over 60 hours, since it's given in kilometers per hour. And this will give us 4 kilometers. So we know that this is 4 kilometers. And then, since we know that the whole thing is 10 kilometers, we know that the leftover is 10 minus 4, which is 6 kilometers over here. So to find the average speed, we already have the average speed, which is 100 kilometers per hour. So speed equals to distance over time. And now we want to find the time it took for the whole thing. So we know the first part took 2 minutes, but what about the whole thing, right? So we know the total distance, right, which is 10 kilometers. And we also know the speed, right? So we can say 100 kilometers per hour is equal to 10 kilometers over time. So time times 100 kilometers per hour is equal to 10 kilometers. So time is equal to 10 kilometers over 100 kilometers per hour, which is 1 over 10 hours, which is 6 minutes, since 1 over 10 times 60 is 6. So now that we know that it's 6 minutes, we know that in the second part, we have 4 minutes to cover 6 kilometers. This will then let us find the average speed over the second part. Even though it's decelerating, finding the average speed will help us find the final speed, which will then help us find the deceleration. So let's find the average speed for the second part. So that will be, again, speed equals to distance over time. So this would be 6 kilometers over 6 over, 6 kilometers over 4 over 60 hours. Why 4 over 60? Because we know that this second part takes 4 minutes, since the total is 6 minutes, and then this first part took 2 minutes, so 6 minus 2, we're left over with 4, and in that time, 4 over 60 is 4 minutes in hours, and then this will give us 90 kilometers per hour, if you work it out with a calculator. So since it's 90 kilometers per hour and we know that the deceleration is constant, we know that the starting speed here, which is 120 when it reaches m, because from A, for the 2 minutes, it's still going at constant speed 120, right? We can say that this average speed is equal to the starting speed 120 plus the final speed, which we'll now call v, over 2. And then solving this for v, we have 2 times 90 equals to 120 plus v. 180 minus 120 equals v. V equals to 60. So now we know the final speed is 60. So now we have everything we need to find the deceleration, since we know here it starts at 120 and here it ends at 60 and it happens over 4 minutes. Then we know that the change in speed is 60 kilometers. So delta S is 60 and it happened in 4 minutes. So 60 over 4 is 15. So the final answer is 15 kilometers per hour per minute deceleration. Thank you for watching.